Astrology time for the week here. It's Monday, and it's a busy Monday for a lot of us because we have um, a couple planets that went forward, or they're about to go forward. Yeah, Jupiter is going to go forward after being retrograde for a few months in Gemini, which is very beneficial, very active. And then we have also, see, the main thing is Uranus went direct and is going to start moving forward. It's like the third or fifth day, actually fifth day of it now, and we're all feeling that energy surging us forward now. And then, well, Neptune has been going forward now. The main thing in right now is that Venus is conjunct Neptune, and then there's also the node in the sky that just switched from Aries to North Node in Pisces, from North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, South Node in Virgo now, and it's involved with this conjunction with Venus and Neptune, and it's a very spiritual time. I want to say sensual time for whoever would have that in their chart. But as a collective, there's an emphasis on feelings because Neptune is a very highly feeling planet, and then we have Venus in the planet in the sign of Pisces, which is well, Venus is very pleasure feelings oriented. It's the heart, so it's very intuitive. It's beyond like just feelings. It's the full-on encompassing spectrum of enjoyment that we are to experience as love, and there's many different kind of colors, and talk about coloring of that. Pisces is Venus is very fantasy oriented, but more like just mystical, really. It's kind of getting into the taboo, but really it's just a very mystical, mythical, creature oriented kind of love. And so then when it's conjunct North Node and Neptune, just off the top of my head, it's a very auspicious time, like, say, for the ambition of mankind, because it's North Node moving, like, as a visionary. There's a vision of this, well, it's opening up visions of a version of reality that is, I would say, it's heading towards that mystical or even mythical kind of genre, but feel, if you can open yourself up to it a little bit more, maybe that's happening for you. You can get into, I don't want to say it, well, God, it's almost like, yeah, it's pointing at escapism, just moving into a place of deception. But it doesn't have to be that way, though. See, it's conjunction with, I'm just talking about the conjunction with Neptune, Venus, and the node that's happening like right now, the North Node. And it's not having any terrible major aspects with anything else except for well, okay, so it does kind of aspect, we'll see Saturn is there too, which is bringing structure to it, so it's just an amazing time that I can't even begin to. It's the Piscean stellium, I guess we're talking about. There's a little Piscean stellium, but really, in the sky, we're talking about Aquarius, Sun there, and then we had Mercury go into Aquarius now. We're in February, and so I'm enjoying a Mercury trine my Mars, Sun, Pluto, and the same with the Sun is right now at 14 degrees, and Mercury is getting ready to go cazimi here, in effect here, going to disappear behind the Sun, while you see we have Venus is going to go into a new sign of Aries, which is a whole zodiacal reset, but not before doing this auspicious conjunction. And so, but see, that's coming up here. Well, on the 5th, Venus will change zodiac signs, and you'll see that, you'll feel that energy. It's going to bring out the Mars part of what's happening in the sky, which is the sneaky thing we have to not ever forget is how Mars is still going retrograde in Cancer, and it's very kind of subduing of the energy of the Mars, and our ambition and our physical drive and energy even is still kind of receding back. Like I get the vision of the not the gushing forth of the shore of the ocean, but it's kind of almost like rip current going back, and it's kind of hard to swim up to the shore there. It's best to relax. See, that's the whole call of especially the Aries people, is to, and the organism itself, which is Aries, it's the I am, it's the nervous system, is to really nurture our bodies as well as our home, and really being very aggressive about that. But it's hard to move forward with a lot of things when it's going retrograde at any time, really, when it's in Cancer. So, see, that's the thing. And so it's just the very fierce mother, intuitive knowing about how to protect and nurture and heal in the home. Maybe it's exaggerated with some people with Aries that it does fall in the house of the home, Mars, and so there's a lot of work that we can do. There's a lot of housework we need to keep up with, right? We have to clean and take care, but that's kind of for the collective because Mars is in Cancer in the 4th house. So, and it's just interesting to know, take note though, it's going backwards and it's going to go forwards. And see, now Venus is going into the ruling, the Mars ruled sign of Aries, and that's going to be interesting because it's going to start vibrating that Mars. Okay, so it's going into like a mild square to Mars, which isn't easy for the love, factor. If it does square Mars, see, Venus is going to go retrograde in March, so which is interesting because it's going to be right over my ascendant, and that's interesting. But this Mars that goes direct. See, we have Jupiter conjunct Saturn moving forward there, and that brings a kind of a tightening of our, I want to say our finances there, but really it's having to do with our mentality and structure around, who knows, babes. Those placements with Jupiter and in Gemini and Saturn in Pisces is kind of difficult. It's just a really rough time. It's kind of a blah to me. It's like, wow, there's some weird stuff going on with your neighbors or something. You don't even know what these people are up to as far as the baby boomers, the ones that are going on 60 right now that are, or finishing up their Saturn and Pisces return. It's a very difficult Saturn. For everybody in the sky, it's happening. It's Saturn and Pisces, and with Jupiter square that, it's kind of hard on the wallet, I guess you'd say, basically, but it's not always that. You got to blend in with you got the Mercury ruled Jupiter. It's really having to do with sorting our minds up and out. Trying to really clean up our subconscious wiring that keeps us from connecting in a good way, positively. But see, the main thing is just, see, it's kind of easy this month. I don't see any big giant aspects, except for just starting it out with this Venus node. Neptune is very trippy. It's best to just relax and go with the flow, kind of a thing. That's if we're talking about Venus at being really heavily influenced by Neptune, and also the nodes right now is kind of propelling it into a vision for us all. It's best to try to meditate and do things, be in a meditative mind as much as you can, like in almost in a dream state, to be able to get the message that is coming through here, the vision, or if anything, acceptance of how it could may might be really, because we really don't know. See, that's the Neptune factor. With it being in Pisces, it's still offering a chance to see the true nature of reality. Like, from where does all of this weird, fantastic, even religions, come up from? It's a good question to try to question um, these things before Neptune gets into Aries, which is it's going to be happening, and I see that we are going to have like some kind of weird issues with water. Not that we don't have it happening already. Um, you know that, I mean, there's tons of chemtrails that's going on in the sky right now. It's been happening for the last week, and it's been gone for a while now. Not that it's not going on somewhere else, but around my area. But then now they're back, and it kind of snowed a bit with. They've been doing the chemtrail on top of that, right? It's getting all in the fucking snow, and well, I noticed a lot of the ground cover around in my yard is just dying. It's dead, and it's like it's small ground close to the ground cover that's always been here. The vincas and stuff. It's anyways, combination probably not watering enough or taking care of it very well. But no, I see a weird burning and just it's dying, and so the military is killing shit off. And you wonder, okay, so what's next? But well, you just see how weird it looks out there. It's weird. So thanks for listening to that. It's hard to talk about the weather, right? It's just not. It's tainted by the military. Okay, have a nice day. Anyway, Mars. See, that's a factor. See that when Mars is going to go direct in February here, we have a leap year February. It's only the 28 days here, and so then I'm just flipping over to see how that. Yeah, don't ever forget that. See, we're not out of this Mars pressure cooker. It's kind of in a very passive aggressive place right now, where it's like, shh, have you noticed we've had a water problem during a massive fire in LA? Warfare happened. You should be quiet. It's a little bit more domestic violence going on. Did you take care? Did you turn the water off or on at that point? Are we saving water? Or what happened? Did we just like forget to even fucking save water altogether? And who's saving water for what and how? You know what I mean? It is so dangerous. We are on the brink of experiencing something like a third whammy kind of a thing, because it's already happening with a lot of people. You notice that some people that just live in la la land, really, they live on the religion of Disneyland or something. They really got profoundly affected by the fires in LA. Not that all of us are not supposed to be profoundly um, affected, but particularly the ones that just love Beverly Hills, the fake people. I'm sorry, the fake people are really stressed out about it all. I'm sure they've gotten over it though really quick. They just went out and got some good latte from the Starbucks and eating their popcorn and getting and also a pedicure will just cover it right up. But other than that, it's a little bit stressful, and so some people just want to move back to New York. And it's like, babes, these places are going to be decimated because they are crap, and also they are built on. You want to get down to the flat line language that it's built on, just no foundation, really, not a solid foundation. And those civilizations that are built on that kind of weakness by intergalactic rule could be just flat white ash anytime and start over again somehow, some way. You know, like the mayor says, you know, we rebuild after we, but it would after the fire we lit. So anyway, getting back to, yeah, let's talk about a fire. Venus going into fire in just a day here, or in 24 hours. Yeah, watch out for her. You know, she's going to be rocketing forward. It's like a Mars conjunct Venus, if you really want to talk about it, and that's a very, very active. I want to say it's human. It's time for the human to activate. You can see it, you know, with this Venus going into Aries, and well, let alone that we do have Aquarius. We have these planets in Aquarius now. See, whenever we have those planets in Aquarius, don't we love Neptune right there, just moving right on along, man. My generation getting such a, it's really, have you healed? I have healed. I have managed to heal some stuff. And I'm here to also tell you, see, part of this video I wanted to talk to you about is that, yeah, the time of healing has come, especially now we're talking about this Venus. Okay, Venus is Libra ruled, and we're looking at this effect that we're having, very quiet, but it's a slow administration of Venus and Neptune. Neptune is a higher octave of Venus, and Neptune is going to keep working on us all. With the fact that, you know, Saturn is going to be conjuncting Neptune next, but we have this auspicious Venus conjunct Neptune now, with the node there causing us to be open for a vision. If that is, you can maintain a meditative state, take a break, maybe just notice the breaks in between the obvious, you know, catch a real whiff beyond the programming there. Something. I hate to say, but it's probably just looking like pure deception across the board, you know. And what a time for humanity right now to have the wool pulled over their eyes, and the way that there is that stuff happening over there, everywhere really. How many other places have burned? And boy, that was a decimation over there. But see, who can anybody care about? Oh God, I hate to say it like this, but about the fake people that are, you know, that hit right there of the rich, you know, and the famous. Really, they're just elbowing up. You know, it's like, you can imagine the trap that they really are in. If it's financing, if it's money that they're really, really caught up into, yeah, they're in a trap. If you haven't noticed, it's kind of a mild trap everywhere you go. You know, I mean, not mild. The whole fucking organism is being harnessed up in it, and it's dangerous. Why do I say it's dangerous? Well, because of the way that, I was trying to get rid of this light. Of the way that like, okay, so we do buy our water by drop to drink it, and if you pay a little more, if you can afford it, you're getting the high end zero point 0.8 or beyond 9.5 alkaline. Just, it's so better, much more better hydration. Who knows if it really is, but really, if you're an ultra sensitive, of course you can feel it. And pardon me while I take my drink right now. And they're coming in these fucking plastic bottles, and this is fucking ridiculous. See, now we have to look at this. For all we know, that's sewer water right there. You know what I mean? They just got it down, perfected so well. You know, they whoever they are, as people that hold the knowledge away from you, but you can see it. It's trying to offer itself over the internet. It's a free information highway, and it's supposed to be kind of a little bit of a, like a synthesized reflection of what we can find of what we're doing here in reality. This has a little lemon in it, but anyway, oh God, have mercy on us. You know, with Neptune going into Aries, if you haven't noticed that one thing that happened in LA, where it's like the fire department could not put out any of those fires because there was no water. There was no water. It was well planned to be that way, and that's the manipulation of water. And what for what sake? Well, there's a fire coming through, and that's kind of war. That's warfare. That's for the sake of having that work for them as far as the fire thing. It's just a big mask, really. There's much more going on just than just a fucking fire. Okay, but anyway, let's get back to talk about that. It's not over. Mars going backwards and then going forward here. It's kind of a weird fucking time. See, because by the time, okay, so when it does its final and like cherry on top, freaking pressure cooking in April, Mars opposed to Pluto. I see a lot of it is psychological by now. It's horrific. It's terrible. It's very mechanical. It seems cold and calculated. Maybe it's hard with that Pluto and Aquarius. It's very cold and calculating. It's just going to go in with a laser beam and clean out stuff. I hate to, pardon the pun. With Mars opposing in Leo, uh, it's a like what I was talking about. Okay, some of my videos did talk about. It's like, well, I don't know about the. See, Leo is stressed out. Hollywood or whoever. Leos are pretty superficial people. I'll have to say it's sun ruled. And out of all the people we know, Leos, when we look at it, they can be very egoic. It's very kind of superficial. It's very, well, they're known as being the big babies of the astrology. They are the children or the big babies, literally, like the ones that need a clown for their birthday. They're very birthday oriented. They're about the dress up, they're about the stage, about the glamour, about the lights, about Hollywood, about and so when you see that opposition, well, let alone that Pluto is in Aquarius testing the hell out of Leo, and I keep trying to tell you that in some of these videos, if you're following me at all, you see it's like, well, that's what happens. What's kind of happening now with that, it is a superficial face value the way that now we're pointing at now also see we still have Uranus in Taurus, which puts strain on Leo or even Taurus now. See, Taurus is stressed out because it's just little old Earth over there saying, excuse me, but why can't you guys value clean water, it going over the rocks, the weather is nice, we're just a bunch of cows in the meadow, and how's the soil? Are we growing grass? What's happening here? The simplicity of life on Earth. Maybe, we have a Leo and Aquarius, like this fucking thing happening around with if you want to talk about the heart matters of the human being, it's a big shakeup here. We're talking about. Oh, did we talk about the electrical download? Yeah, it's a download again. See, we had our electrical download come the turn of the year. Like some people didn't even make it. They literally just croaked. It's just time for a disconnect or something or whatever. It has to do, see, we are electrical beings. We're not, and that's non-physical. It's hard to tell that's what's driving my muscles right now because the physical is so there, right? But behind it, is some little controller somewhere in outer space in the firmament. Who knows, babe? It's talking about the electrical. It's going to get very, very, very weird. Even, okay, come from now up on into April, how strange it is. If it's just the elite and the rich people that are able to move around because they don't have anything better to do with their money, it's kind of dangerous for us all that is happening and that's there because why? Look at the way they hoard the money. I mean, hoard the water. Look at the way that what they're doing with that. That's dangerous because we need water. We need it to be nice. We need to be, and then what else? Oh, the food. Look at the way they hoard every fucking thing. See, that's about what they can do. If you dial in on it, that's about what money is up to. It's up to hoarding. It's up to causing scarcity. It's up to causing illnesses so it can find a cure for itself. It's up to causing so they can cause and why? Because people could just drop it and say, well, we figured out how to get it out of the air, electricity, water, just we work with our creativity and our block figured it out. But no, they're like, money will clamp down on it. No, you can't do that. That's not true. It is true. And here it is, 2025. Have you noticed it through all of the fluoride you're brushing through your teeth, breathing through the air, and even drinking? Can you notice anything at all? Wow, you know what I mean? I trip out on these people that I'm surrounded by here and who are kind of dimmed out. They don't like people like me talking at all. I'm like, sorry, I'm going to talk. We're heading into the fucking age of that's all we have is talk. Well, that's too bad because that's weird. Let's find out why it's important to talk. And it is important though. I just felt myself being like sounding like, oh, you're putting yourself on in interrogation or something or whatever. It's like, no, I don't mean it like that. We're supposed to use our voice boxes. We are really unique creatures in that we have language. So why don't we use it somehow, some way? Do you think I was on to something with my pointing out the peculiar way that we use our language? However way we're using it, I have my cat downstairs. She's not making it upstairs very quick because she's getting sidetracked by some of the mice that are down there, and I'm glad that that's happening now. Been getting out of hand since last February. I lost my cat, and it's like, whoa, I'm so glad I got this other cat because you have to have a cat in your home if you live in the mountains. Otherwise, you have mice, and because a cat just takes care of it, man. Those mice are kind of upset. I've already talked about that, but hey, thanks for listening to my trying to do the astrology here. It's important to talk about that Venus. Let alone that I think that you see what's happening is that we're heading into eclipse season, I think. But we did have an auspicious new moon that conjunct Pluto, but this was early on here. Let's see, when was that? Yeah, that was on the 29th, but we're just speeding through already. And the Aquarius planets here is very healing time for us all. It's a time of intense healing, I would say, because Aquarius, well, if you look at the time of year it's in, right, it should be like under a bunch of snow, or it's snowing now. It's very, I don't want to say it's easy, but it's not as difficult as say like, well, I don't know, Capricorn is pretty difficult. It's right up there with Capricorn. Um, yeah, these are pretty hardy people. They are very private, you would if you want to say, but they're very freedom oriented. They're getting out of the Capricorn sun. They're getting more into the freedom that is needed, more like the inhibition. It really is, it rules independent, uninhibited freedom. It does. It really points at humanitarian freedom. And with more and more, see that we have the Aquarius and the Pluto in the air, we're going to see it more and more. Oh, we're going to probably see an outburst with, especially see now with the Mars opposing Pluto, which comes after it does this sneaky going backwards, messing with everybody, really their domestics. It's like, well, if it hasn't been lit on fire or flooded out, how is it going? You have to clean up, change around. It's kind of aggressive because Mars going backwards, it can't change very easily. It can't even get off its ass very easily. It's hard. But here it is. It's in Cancer, and it's doing its best it can with being as subdued as it is, which it's kind of like a good thing, kind of to slow down, tell the organism to slow down more, especially the part of the Aries. But so long as that you can maintain a focus and get things done. See, when it goes forward, we're going to feel a surge of energy. See, but the main thing is what happens is when it does oppose Pluto for the third time. We've been through this opposition for 3 times now, and the first time it occurred was when it was at very late um, Capricorn, and Mars was heading into Leo, and then it went. while Mars was heading into Leo, Pluto moved into Aquarius, and then Mars started heading backwards and then hit Pluto again. And a lot of stuff has been happening between that time. I mean, LA burnt down, and people have changed. There's a lot of changes that happened that I've noticed. It's like, whoa, not kidding here. And so that's why I'm mentioning it. It's like, well, this is really a sneaky period of time. And it's apropos during the winter here in the the northern hemisphere, experiencing it. It's weird because the planet that rules the springtime sign, which is Aries, which is Mars, is in this subdued place. And so it's kind of fine being in wintertime that we feel this like having to recede back into our shell and even get rid of our shell and get a whole new shell on. Not kidding about that. And this is where a lot of us are feeling really ultra sensitive, and it's about our bodies and our sensitivity, and of course with the Venus going into Aries now, it's going to kind of exaggerate this transformative energy that we're going through, and it's in fire. That's why Venus in fire. It's a very ambitious woman. The feminine side is going to light up and be like a rocket ship, a rocket torch or something, and start. You're going to want to roast the marshmallows. Very different than it being in Pisces. You're going to see in the next couple days here. It's the 3rd, and I'm going to put this on the 3rd. It's my late, but better than late than never Monday astrological video that I promised everybody I was going to do. I'm just trying to keep my promises now. I'm going through my transitional time is very profound for me. I've been doing some work that it does have to do with the Venus quality because I'm lots of Venus here, even though it goes through Mars. Anyway, it's yeah, we have a Mars Venus thing. It's very sneaky here because yeah, Venus is under a Mars ruled sign. But now, see, we're looking at this very intense transformative time. By the time that Mars opposes Pluto, it's like watch Hollywood again. Watch this. It's in April. It's still far off to be talking about this, but I'm telling you, it does oppose here at 3 degrees, um, and that's way off into Leo and into Aquarius. It's the first time we've experienced the 3 degrees in Pluto in Aquarius. And basically, the Pluto in Aquarius says that humanity is going to rise up. And they need, see, the main thing is they need their leaders, which is, I hope that people can understand, your nervous system is your leaders. You're tired of being jerked around. You're tired of being gaslit. You're tired of having a nervous breakdown and inflammation. Like every month, that they just, if it's not every month that the government has people um, going up and down with their financing. It's every week, right? If you're doing it right, it's every week that you're just or just how about every day? Did you make it today as an entrepreneur? And boy, doesn't that all need to change? And here I kind of shut down. I didn't stick onto it, but I am onto something. I know I am. I want to clarify the language that they use that points at what's happening here. And if we get it right, such as if we get God in God we trust correctly. Now, what is the language there really? The media is weird on that particular note. That basically is an excuse as to for what. Anyway, we should have our own central banking, relieving us into our creative lives, which is like, don't worry, babes, we're going to be able to work better than ever. We're just not bound down to that system over the slave driving system, man. It's just basically they're doing the best they can. They will hire a lot of people to clean up that mess that they created and to rebuild what they want under their jurisdiction and rule. Have a nice day.